This poor guy is fighting for his life right now. I'm about to do some surgery to save it. This here is one of my beautiful Hoyas, very long and cascading. And it's got one strand on here. For some reason, it is drying out and the leaves are browning. So I'm going to try to save the tip of it because the leaves are still green. They look like they're still alive. And I think I'll be able to propagate it. So I have saved a few of my other Hoyas by propagating them. And what I'm going to do is propagate a bunch of plants together and put them into this little plastic container. I'm going to put some pon, whatever I have left of my pon, and then maybe like mix it with pumice if I run out of pon. And then I'm going to fill it to the brim with water. So it'll be a water propagation, but just within the pon mixture. And I'm going to put it into my cabinet. So if you're wondering, does humidity matter or not? You probably already know that it does. But I did an experiment. So I had done a propagation of my Hoya retusa because some of the leaves were yellowing. It was in a soil substrate that I just did not understand, and I wasn't getting the watering right with that one, so it was losing a lot of leaves. So I decided to propagate it and put it into pon, and I did 2 propagations with that. And I put one into the cabinet and I left one out in my environment. And I do live in a desert, so it's pretty dry out here. And so can you guess which one was in the cabinet and which one was left out? So it's pretty obvious. They started about equal. And I actually want to say that the one that I put in the cabinet had a disadvantage. And you can see now it has popped out a whole bunch of new leaves. And now it has this super long tendril. This is brand new. But it's pretty obvious that the Hoya retusa loves humidity over dryness. And I have been watering them both the same. They're both in pon. And whenever I noticed that the rocks were dry on top, I would re-water. And I would leave about 1/4 of an inch of water at the bottom until it dried up again. And I use a Super Thrive solution for both of them. So even though Hoyas can live in the desert in my environment, and they do just fine, like this one, I'll have a lot of Hoyas that live out in my environment, I can see that they do prefer having higher humidity. And maybe it's not the same with like every single species, but I'm gonna guess that probably most of them would do better if they had higher humidity. So it's not convenient for me to grow all of my Hoyas inside my cabinet, but I just like to use it to get the plants started, to get them rooted. And then once they're established, I'll take them out and then let them live in my environment. So I think that humidity is a factor that really does matter. But as you can see behind me, I have these 2 wonderful Hoya plants. This one here is doing just fine out in my environment. And so is this one. This is my Carnosa Crimson Queen. This one is a hybrid, and I always forget what it's mixed with, but they're both doing awesome out here in the desert air. So let me go ahead and start cutting up my plants and propagating them. And I'm going to show you guys close-ups as I do that. And just a side note, one thing that does not do well out here in the desert air is my hair. And interestingly enough, it is actually raining today. Wow, we hardly ever get rain. And it is a stormy day right now, and I am enjoying it. I love it so much. And that makes me come to a conclusion. I'm going to take this retusa out of the cabinet for good. It's taking up way too much space in there right now. And I wonder if I should give this a trellis. Maybe I'll make a ladder trellis for it. And I kind of want to propagate it again. If I can find another strand on here, I don't know how many strands there are. If it grows another one, I want to propagate it again. I just want to make sure I have lots of cuttings so that if I lose one, then I have multiple, because I have lost some Hoyas and it's very sad. And I am actually going to move this now into the cabinet until it grows out. All right, here's the first one I'm going to cut. Now, as you can see, these leaves have totally dried out here. And I'm not sure if this is a separate plant from the rest of it. Oops, this one just came off. But it looks like it's still alive up to like this point right here, that node. So I wonder if I should sacrifice these 2 leaves. Yeah, I feel like this one's starting to go. And I'll propagate this part of the stem. So I'll just cut it right here. And you can see the milky white. That means that part of the Hoya is healthy. And I'll go ahead and just let this sit out and scab over. And I'm just gonna like trim this out because it's ugly. Goodbye. All right, that's one down and I don't know how many more to go, but I'll go ahead and get this out of the way and put it back in its home. I've got a few more Hoyas here. This is my Pandarata. This one is living out in my environment. I was trying to keep this in 100% humidity instead of like an upside down glass vase, and it grew mold. So I took it out and I just let it be in the dry air. The mold went away and luckily the plant survived. And it actually grew a new tendril since then. Like this whole part right here is brand new. And I feel like, I don't know what's happening. I think I let it go a little bit too dry, a little bit too long. But like these last two leaves are starting to yellow on the tip. So I'm gonna propagate this. I just want more of a chance of survival. This is my Engleriana, and it's together with my Hoya Mathilde, my variegated. Um, and it has actually, my Engleriana has grown a second tendril. It is so cool. So there's only one plant of my Engleriana in here, but it now has two strands. And it's getting super long and I'm afraid of losing it. So I'm just gonna cut it maybe like around here and propagate part of it, so then I'll have two of the plants. Just like I said, I just want insurance cuttings. And then here's my Luisa's Silver Lacunosa. And for the longest time, this plant was dormant. And I don't like the setup, but I just haven't had time to repot it. But luckily, it has survived. And now it has even a brand new tendril coming out of this also. And one of the leaves is yellowing on the end for some reason. Maybe it's getting too dry too long also, because it is in a really, really tiny container. So it's probably drying out pretty quickly, even though I do have this in the cabinet, but that's probably what's saving it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and propagate this. Oops. I wonder if I should take two cuttings. I might do two cuttings of this one. So I am going to wipe my shears with alcohol every time I cut each new plant, just in case. And I'm gonna do my Pandarata next. So I think I'm gonna get at least two nodes, maybe even three nodes, because the last two leaves look sad. Yeah, so I'll cut it right here, right there. I used to be so scared to cut my plants, but now I'm doing it like it's nothing. So both of these strands so far have milky white sap coming out, which means that they are healthy. All right, my Louisa's Silver is up next. I think I will do two cuttings of this. So this is pretty long stem right here. I'll cut it right there. That's one. So milky white sap, that's a good sign. Oops, I got on my finger. And then this one, look how pretty that is. I'll give this three nodes. So I'll cut it like, it's hard to see. This thing is in the way. I'm getting the sap all over me. Okay, I'll cut it right there. Oh, look at you guys. There's not as much sap down here. I feel like the plant's health is declining towards the bottom. Uh-oh. I'm glad I'm doing this now. I might be saving my Luisa's Silver just in time. There is a little bit of sap coming out of that bottom part, but it just didn't feel like there was as much as towards the top. I wonder what's happening with it. I want to repot this thing, but I just don't have enough pond right now. I mean, I guess I could just put it into pumice or something. I'm gonna have to deal with it later. So I'll go ahead and finish doing my propagations. My Engleriana is next. There it is. So I could do multiple cuttings of this, but I think I'll just do one for now. I'm gonna try to find the longest segment. They're all pretty even though. I'll just cut it right here. Nice. So I don't know if I should use my rooting powder or not. Like, I don't know if that helps more than if I don't use it. I mean, I guess since I have it, I could just put it on there. And I don't know if you're supposed to put it on before they scab over or after. This is a question that I could ask my community members. So if you don't know, and hey to everyone if you're watching from my community, I have started a brand new community and we're having so much fun in there. We've been sharing photos of our plants in there and oh my gosh, some of the members in there have so many plants, like hundreds and hundreds of plants. And they're so beautiful. Oh my gosh, like these people, you guys could have your own YouTube channels. Like, what am I doing here with my little plants? Like, these ladies have some really awesome looking, beautiful plants. And I'm loving the blooms, like the new unfurling of leaves and the beautiful, like flowering begonias. Like, I'm seeing these plants that I've never seen before. And my wish list is getting longer because of it. So the community is currently closed. I have closed the doors right now just because we were doing our very first giveaway. So I let the members in there choose what giveaway item they wanted for this first giveaway, and we're in the process of playing that out right now. We're also doing our first live plant tour session together. And once these two activities are done, I will open the doors again for new members. If you're interested in joining us, we would love to have you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these plants away back into their homes and get the other Hoyas that I need to cut. All right, 3 more. So I have 2 polyneuras. I got my green. Look at that long vine right there. And then I have my inner variegated. So beautiful. This one actually has 2 vines. So proud of this one. And then I have my sunrise. And this one used to be in my cabinet. These 2 still are. And this one seems to be doing just fine, like outside. Oops, that's getting heavy. It seems to be doing fine outside of the cabinet. The soil is drying out a little bit fast. So I want to make sure I have an insurance cutting of this for sure. I'm going to cut it right there. I'm going to have 2 nodes on this one. And it does look like it might be growing a peduncle on the end, but I'm going to have to cut it anyways. So I'm probably sacrificing that peduncle, but I just want to have more than one plant of these. And also it'll be nice if I can put all of the like different cuttings of the same plant together, so like I'll have like a more full plant instead of just like one long strand. Sunrise is up next, and I'll go ahead and just cut it right there. Perfect. Time for my polyneura green, and I think I'll just cut off this last part here. So there will be 2 nodes. Just take it right there. And now for my polyneura inner variegated, I'm just going to cut off 2 nodes here, and that is going to expose the second vine that's growing on here. There's that. It's looking healthy. And now you can see the other vine that was growing out there. Beautiful leaves. So my Hoyas have gotten a lot smaller, but I think that by pruning the Hoyas like this, they actually maybe grow faster and they grow more vines. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm going to put these back now, and I'm going to get my rooting powder. And I guess I'll just dab some rooting powder on the ends right now. I'm in a cutting mood right now. I just want to cut up all my plants. I've got my micans right here. This was supposed to be micans halo, but it's reverted. It's still super, super beautiful. I love the colors and the texture on this plant, but I'm not happy with the setup. Like the earlier cutting was like, I don't know, it looks knobby and scraggly. So I just want to start it over. So let me just cut off some of these strands here. And this is also another one I want to cut. What is this called? Scindapsus Jade Satin Aria. My nose gets itchy sometimes with some of the substrates. Like, I don't know if I'm allergic to something in there or what, but like, this is why I'm trying to switch over to pon with a lot of my stuff. This is also, it has reverted. So I'm going to cut off all of the green ones and then propagate those and see if I can get some of the variegation to come back. All right, so my first cut I'll make right here. So I guess these do not have the same white sap that the Hoyas do. I'm gonna go ahead and make another cutting right there. So now I have 2 cuttings. Look how beautiful the leaves are. You know what? I've decided to go ahead and make a 3rd cutting. I kind of want to just start this plant all over. So I'm going to cut right here. Wait, there's 2. Oh, there's 2 vines coming out of this. I'm going to cut right. Actually, how does this work? I'll cut right here. These 2 leaves. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop cutting there. I want to leave some nice leaves on here so that this can continue to grow nicely. And I'll probably just continue propagating it in the future. But let me just move this clip higher up because these brand new leaves are pretty heavy. It's weighing it down. So that's what that's looking like right now. Skin dapsis time. So it stopped growing leaves. I don't know what that is. So this is a node. Okay, I think roots will grow out of there. So I'll just cut it here. And then there's some more nodes. So those will probably turn into water roots. I'll cut it here. I'll just cut at every node. This part is sad. You can have a new life. It'll start over. All right, so now I'm going to start cutting off the green leaves. I might put these little things inside of my prop box, my little plastic container. So I'll leave like 3 leaves on this one cut. So there's 3 green leaves there. And then there's 1 variegated leaf kind of here, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut it right up to here. Yeah, right there. So there's that. And I think you're supposed to cut up to the variegation in order to get more variegation. I feel like the most variegation is like down here in this part. So I wonder if I should cut down to there. Looks like there's some aerial roots right here. I feel like that would turn into water roots if I cut it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there. So I'll just take off this clip and yeah, right here. So I'm hoping the new growth that comes out of here will be variegated again. And there's that. All right, so I have a lot more that I want to cut, but I have to go. I have to pick up my kids from school. So I'll just let all of these scab over while I'm driving around town. And I should probably put some rooting powder on like super quick right now before I leave. Okay, I'm back. It's actually like a few hours later. I think it's been like 4 hours since I cut these. So they should be scabbed over enough, and I'm going to now put them into a container. So I normally don't put all of my cuttings into one container, but I'm going to do it this time just so I can save myself time and space. And I do have myself a little trellis made up just in case some of the plants need something to like lean up against. So let me just get my pon in here, and I did put rooting powder on all of the ends before I left. I have my pon right behind me here. So this is actually like a pon perlite mix. It's like mostly perlite right now, and I definitely don't have enough. So I'm gonna go get some pumice. Okay, I got a bag of pumice. Yeah, oops. Oh no, it's getting everywhere. And I'm not gonna rinse it off because I don't want to. I should. I just don't feel like doing it right now. It's actually nice outside, but my hose in my backyard is broken. So I'd have to walk like all the way to the side of my house to use the other hose. And I just don't feel like doing that right now. I need to pay someone to come help me like fix my hose, but I think it's gonna be like $100, maybe more, I don't know. Okay, so let me try to do this without getting it everywhere. I don't know what this is. It's like all over on the outside of the bag. So I'll just use my scoop and try to like, actually that's too small. Yeah, see, the pumice is way better than the perlite. It's like not creating as much dust. Like I don't see any dust actually. Yeah, the perlite makes way too much dust, so much dust. And I don't see any from this. All right, so I'll just mix this up. So it's mostly pumice, but it's got some perlite and a little tiny, tiny bit of pon. I'm just gonna pour this right in and capture my trellis. And hopefully I can use this little pokey thingy to poke holes. Yeah, that'll work, I think, to put my plants in, I hope. So I'll fill it all the way to the top. Mostly to the top. And then I'm gonna fill the water up above or like to the top of the rocks. So it'll be a water propagation, but with rocks in it. I feel like the roots will be acclimated already to the pond, and then I can just like leave it in there forever, and then I just won't have to like water as much. But let's see. I'll start with my sunrise. Wait, should I start with the bigger plants first or the smaller ones? I should start with the smaller ones first. So like my Louisa Silver. Next little plant I'll do my Inkleriana, and I'll just set this up right next to the silver. Right there. And I don't know what this plant is called. I don't know the species name of this one. I'll put it here. I feel like this one needs the help of the trellis, so I'll put it in here in the middle. I don't know. I might not be able to fit all of these plants in this one container, so I'll just fit as many as I can, and then I'll have to go look for another container. Next up, I'll do the other Louisa Silver, and I think, yeah, that's the bottom. Now I will do my Pandorata. So this has a short stem, but I'll use the trellis for this one right here. And I guess I'll try to get all of my Hoyas into here. So I'll do my sunrise next. And this one's pretty big. I'll just put on the edge here. I love this pokey thing. And I have to be careful that they don't block each other from the light. So let's see. I feel like the sunrise is going to block some of them, so I should move it. The Pandorata's there. My wavy one is here. I'll put my sunrise like way on the edge. Oops, it looks like something fell out. Yeah, my Pandorata did. Okay, so there's my wavy one. I feel like it's totally gonna block. They're gonna block each other. Let me see, I'll put this on this side. Yeah, and if the sun is on this side, they'll all get light. All right, so that one's way on the edge. It doesn't want to stay in. Okay, I got it. I used the trellis and I buried it in the rocks. I don't know, I feel like they're kind of like blocking each other a little bit. All right, I've decided to take my Pandorata out and I'm gonna put my Polyneura here. So I'll put the bigger plants in the back and the smaller ones towards the front. And maybe I don't need this trellis. I feel like it's getting in my way. Okay, my wavy one came out. Let me just put this back in. Put that in the middle. I'm having problems here. Okay, it's just resting against the edge. That'll work. So now my Polyneura, I will also rest against the edge. All right. You know what I could do is put some of these little stems like right in the middle. So the aerial roots will be submerged, and I feel like those will turn into water roots. We shall see. I just have to experiment. Yeah, these are doing okay in the middle. I was gonna put these in my prop box, but maybe I'll just put them all in the middle of this container. Last one. I feel like something I need to worry about is if their roots get intertwined with each other. So when I go to like repot them, I don't know, we'll see how that goes. So that's what it looks like. There's my wavy Hoya, my Angleriana, my two Luisa silver strands, my sunrise, and then I've got the four Scindapsus right there in the middle, and then my one green Polyneuria there. And now I still have to do all of the other ones. I found another container, so I'll go ahead and fill this up with the rest of this, and some more pumice on top. All right, so I'm gonna carefully move this out of the way, and I'm gonna use Super Thrive, my Super Thrive solution, but I'm not gonna put it in until I take it upstairs because I don't want it to spill out everywhere, just in case. If you've ever wondered how I go back and forth between my close-ups and the regular shots, this is how I do it. I just move my camera and then I flip it around and then I configure it. All right, so getting a close-up, and I don't know why it looks pink right now. It's night, that's why. So I'll put my panda rod in here. I'll put this one like right there. The sun is setting right now, so there's kind of like a hue, like it colors the sky and the atmosphere a little bit. It's interesting. So I got my Pandarata in. Let me just try to get the other ones in. Here's my Micans. So I just put that on the edge so it can rest against the edge. I feel like this one could go in the middle. It's kind of a large one. Things are not going according to plan. I run out of space again. So I've got 1, 2, 3 cuttings left. I have my Polyneuria intervariegated, very important plants. And I have 2 Scindapsus, and I can honestly not remember where the top or the bottom is. So I don't know how to plant these. I feel like if I put the aerial roots into water, that they will grow into water roots. So maybe I should just turn this into a water propagation with my neon pothos that's already in water. And then my Hoya Polyneuria, maybe I need to find a container for it by itself. Let me see what I can do. First of all, I'm just going to take off this outer cover so I can see through the plastic. I want to see the water levels. I'm going to go ahead and take these upstairs and put water in them and find a container for this. Okay, I found something. Since these are water propagations with pumice in them, I am using closed containers for now, but I'm going to change that once the roots have grown out, because I do like to be able to flush my plants out. And also I do have a tendency sometimes, like I'll pour a little bit too much water in there, and it's just easier for me if it's got drainage holes and I can empty out my watering dish. This doesn't want to stay in. I have to dig a hole deep enough. All right, I put a little trellis in there to help hold it up. See if I can dig a hole. I can feel it starting to get limp. I need to give it water. So I've decided to put this in the water, and I want to submerge these aerial nodes right here. So I'm going to cut off this leaf. So now it has like a super long stem that can go into the water, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to turn into a water root. I could do the same with this one, but I don't want to cut off the variegated leaf. So, all right, I'm going to put this in my prop box. I'm going to cut off the green leaf and then put the two aerial nodes like onto the pond inside my prop box, and I'm hoping that those will turn into roots. Okay, I'm about to put water into the containers right now, and I was just thinking about the pumice, and I probably should have rinsed it. I feel like it's gonna create mud. Like there is dust in there, and I feel like once I put the water in, it's gonna all turn into mud, and I hope it doesn't suffocate my plants. I hope I just didn't like ruin all of my plants by being lazy. So we'll see how it goes. But let me go ahead and get the Super Thrive water in there. I'm gonna go ahead and just fill it up all the way to the top, and luckily I don't see mud. So let's see, where is it? Where's the water line? There. It's like right there. Okay, that's good. It's getting dark. I'm having to reconfigure space in my cabinet because I'm running out of room. I'm running out of room for my plants. I actually have a lot of space in my house. I just don't have a lot of space with light. That's the problem. Like I would have to get lots of grow lights in order to like put my plants around my house, but I'm not spending money on lights right now. So I have one container in there. I've had to take out my begonia. I put it up there. I took out a couple of other plants. A couple of my other Hoyas that I was propagating, I took those out. Those seem like they're established now. So let me go get water into these other containers and put them inside the cabinet. So there's the water line, and I do not see mud, so that's good. All right, all the way to there. That's good enough right there. Look at my weird plant, you guys. It's got a flower. It only opens up in the evening. It's interesting. And there's a new one coming out. So here's my prop box that I keep on the floor next to the lights. And my plants in here are doing well. I should probably take the rooted ones out and pot them up. But let me go ahead and put this Scindapsus in here with the root side down. Yeah, let me go ahead and take these out because I need space. Wow, that is a super long root. So I'm going to have to do something with that now. And then this one also has a root. Nice. And so does this one. Wow, they're long. And how about this one? Yes, look at that. And last one. Wow, super long. Okay, your turn. So this Scindapsus is going in here, and the neon pothos are pretty much done rooting. They have secondary roots, but I just have to get the pot ready for them. So let me just go ahead and pop this in and make sure that the aerial root is covered in water. There we go. I thought I was done, but now I have to take care of these rooted guys. So I think what I'm going to do is replace my bear's paw. So I had tried to save my bear's paw, and I do have a couple of leaves left, but I had to move them into the cabinet because they started drying up. And the original plant, the mother plant, died. I think the perlite is just way too dry. I'm not using that anymore. And the tree fern fiber didn't help to like keep it moist enough. So I'll just pull these dead plants out and then put these into this container with this substrate. So I'll go ahead and just dump this out and then take these plants out. That's a huge root system, but it's like totally dead. Number one, this actually has a leaf coming out. Number two, this one also has a tiny leaf coming out. Number three, More leaves. Number 4 is just a root, no leaves yet. And number 5, also just a root. So I'll go ahead and dump this back in. I'm going to use more tree fern fiber though. All right, it is the following day and I've got my plants in my cabinet. They're looking okay so far. I'll give you a close-up. So there's one container. There's the other big one that I did. And then my Polynora is right there. And I also wanted to give an update on the 2 Hoyas that I had in my cabinet that I've taken out. These were cuttings that I did a while back because one of the strands on my Lacunosa was starting to shrivel up. And it was a really cool strand because the leaves were like way more silver than the other ones. And they're doing great. One of them I had left out and one I put in the cabinet. But then one that I left out was like not doing well. So I put it in the cabinet and then it started doing really well. So it's like really all plumped up. I'm pretty sure that they are rooted and they're looking nice and healthy and they have lots of new growth. So here's a close-up. My Curtisii here was also another propagation I had done a while back. And look how long this vine has gotten. It's doing really well also. And these were all propagated within pond. And I love doing it this way because now I don't have to touch it. It can just live in there forever until it outgrows its pot. So I'm really excited for my new propagations. I hope they all survive and do well. Thank you so much for watching if you made it to the end. And if you are new here and you were interested in joining my school community, you can find the link in my bio. Here is also on the screen. You can just search up Cozy Plants on School. Thank you so much, and until next time, enjoy your plants.